And so in the dancing goat, an unfortunate approach met with mass disdain. Felgos was his name. He gleefully tells his name, insists we all do the same, then instigates a game. We must play his game. Tell me lies, tell me two truths and a lie. Tell me lies, tell me lies. Is he a halfling or dragon in disguise? A disguise. Guards storm in and seem to have a new friend on their radar. With stray feet, stray spells and hijinks, we ensure they do not get far. And just like that, he's out of sight. A dragon gone into the night. The adventure continues.
I shall. So first and foremost, I'll do this in one fluid motion, but I'll pick up the pork pie hat. I'll pop it on, give it a little sniff, pop it on, and I would just yell at. So I'm getting some grimaces from the guys. It seems perfectly normal thing to do. I don't know why that's sparking reactions. No. So yeah, little sniff, pop the pork pie hat on, and I just yell out, "Dragon aspect, I trust you. I want to learn more of you. You can trust me. If you're nearby, feel calm and safe that you can show yourself. If not, I'll catch up with you and we'll circle back and we can discuss your situation further. I liked your stories and your game."
I like the idea. This is where it kind of pans out with the camera and you can see that it's just a drain that he's gone down. It's not gone anywhere else at all.
Does this bar serve peanuts?
It might do. You can find out in a minute.
Would it be appropriate for me to then start eating peanuts?
Sam has just put a peanut in his mouth.
It's actually a Werther's original.
Oh, really?
The next 10 minutes of this show is brought to you by KP Nuts. Stick them in your mouth. All that greets you is the silvery moon night. Nothing. You get no response.
What's the moon like? Can I see the moon?
It's
not from
silvery.
your angle, no. Yeah, not from your vantage point, no.
Okay, I stylistically, you know when people sort of grab a hat and they sort of dink it with one finger, like almost squeezing the last remaining remnants of the frube yogurt out of the frube tube. I do that with the pork pie hat just to straighten it up a bit, and then pop that on my head, and just sort of rearrange it, and then dust myself off, and then walk back into the karaoke bar.
I never knew how much I wanted to see Quinch with a pork pie hat until this moment. It's almost like I've done all of this just for this moment and I didn't realise. You walk back into the bar, and actually, just as you're sort of like, how long does Tasha's last?
It lasts for 1 minute.
1 minute. So let's just say, like, by convenience, that 1 minute sort of ended, and that you in your chase, as you're coming back inside, these three guards essentially barge past you and out into the night.
Steady on, fellas.
You wander back into the bar, and the acrobatics are still going on stage.
What were the clowns?
They weren't clowns. They were like clown-esque / acrobatics. A Cirque du Soleil, if you will.
There's only one circus in this town.
It's clown-esque, like burlesque, but with like red noses.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like the big feather fans.
Too witty.
Pulls it down over their face, and a little red nose just pops out the top of it.
Quinch, so you walk. What are you walking straight back up to the rest of the party?
Go back up to the boys.
Okay, so Quinch, you walk back in. And you still see that the clowns / acrobats, whatever you want to call them, are on stage doing their thing. The rest of the party are presumably back at the table. I don't know if anyone wants to tell me differently. But I'll stick with Quinch for the time being. Quinch, what do you want to do? Are you going straight back to everyone else? Yeah.
Do you know what? Quinch has got a bit of a spark in his step now that he's wearing this hat. He's sort of feeling pretty good about himself. So he's gonna like sort of strut a little bit through this karaoke bar. He's still in this period of mourning, but he's now got a jovial strut. And he's gonna just
the hat makes
just to
a
let you
difference,
know,
doesn't it?
it is a +1 swagger hat, by the way.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That makes all the
And
difference.
it
+1 on your
smells
swagger
like
checks.
pork pies, apparently.
Yeah.
It's just gonna like sort of. He's not actually gonna be clicking his fingers and pointing at people, like what's
Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, Bully Maguire. He's not gonna be doing that. But he is gonna be like just tapping people as he walks past and saying like, "Whoa, did you see that guy?" And like, "Whoa." This is a hot night or whatever. To some of the passerbys, maybe he'll give one of he sees a very dry-skinned a humanoid from what he can see. If Nate agrees with that, taps this dry-skinned humanoid and says, "Whoa, did you see that commotion? That was pretty crazy, wasn't it?" And he waits for a response.
I'm just sorry. Can you move out of the way? I'm just trying to watch the dancers.
Oh, I get it. I know what you're into. And just lets him get on his way, whatever he's into. Then rejoins the party and says, I didn't lose him. He was quite quick, but I did pick up his hat.
Jazz Quinch is a thing now.
Jazz Quinch.
He's going to multi-class as a bard.
Isn't it?
So the rest of you, so Krill, last we saw the rest of you, Greg was just sitting back, chilling, relaxing, all cool.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they've come back to
Krill.
the table and he's now got a Knicker Block of Glory that's just turned up with a starter in it.
Fine. I'll allow it. Krill? Nuts,
Krill-
obviously we established you got peanuts.
Krill spots Quinch across the room, and he points at his hat and he goes, "You got a hat? I got a hat too." And he's wearing one of the guards' hats. And then he does the
Why not?
we both got hats.
And then you hear from the table, it's just Greg stuffing his face, pointing at his hat.
Oh. Dweezil's now the unhatted.
Yeah, and long may it continue.
What's Dweezil doing?
Just
Trying to squeeze his head into Dabov's tiny hat.
like he's just sitting there. He's thinking, "What are we doing? What
Well,
are
we're
we
waiting to
doing?"
go to bed. We still need a long rest. I've got those spells lodged.
Quinch can see that Dweezil is dismayed and still quite emotional. Quinch approaches him for an embrace.
Nah.
My favourite thing is because Dweezil doesn't have a voice, I don't actually know if that's Stuart or Dweezil.
No, I'm not
Both in it.
I'm not feeling Huggy Quinch. Sorry.
Huggy Quinch. Is that
That's his new pimp name because of his
Brand
little
of,
hot pie hat.
Brand of nappy.
May I suggest that we all just go to bed? I mean, it's getting quite late now, and you know, I'm not as young and sprightly as I used to be, I admit, but I could probably do with some, if I had to put it in some way, I had spell slots and health back.
Yes, perhaps we could all do with some time to let this fateful day settle in, let the events brew. I'll be down here soaking up the atmosphere for an hour or so.
Quinch's big night out.
Are you clicking your fingers while you're doing this? Are you calling people daddy?
I'm now onto the bit where he's spinning his wrists around and shifting the hips side to side. No, I'm not doing that.
Soaking up the atmosphere. It's good that Devil died though, isn't it?
Yeah,
right.
4 hours ago or something.
He's lost a friend, but he's discovered jazz, so it's all worked out okay.
I'm in one of the many stages of grief.
Jazz. What's the
I think that's denial.
Denial, bartering, jazz, acceptance.
The thing about Jazz Quinch is it's not about the hits he makes, it's about the hits he doesn't make. Right. Okay, so the other three of you, apart from Party.
Where did he get a saxophone from?
The other three of you, I assume, are going up to your room.
Yeah, we booked a room, didn't we?
We got 3 rooms,
you-
I believe,
yeah.
didn't we?
You got three rooms. Two of you were going to share, which I think was Dweezil and Jazz Quinch.
Yeah, I'm not sharing with Jazz Quinch.
It's like a regional variant, like a Pokemon.
His snoring's out of time. It's just like
He sleeps with like a reed whistle in his mouth.
he definitely knows everything before it gets too cool. Right. So yeah, the three of you go up to your respective rooms, and you find quite homely rooms. There's nothing particularly extravagant about them. They're fairly comfortable, fairly welcoming. There is a single bed in each of them, and a place for you to all put your respective things. Quinch, you were going to share with Dweezil, but obviously he's gone to bed without you. What are you doing for the night?
So yeah, I don't want to draw this out too much. Quinch will just he will do exactly as he said, soak up the atmosphere. He will do a little bit of dancing. He'll chat to a few people. He'll overshare with some of the patrons, talk about Dabble's death and what's happened. And he'll spend the last sort of 10 or 15 minutes of his little solo adventure there, just sitting at one of the tables, looking down at his glass. If this were a movie, the shots would be very tasteful. They may be black and white. He'd be looking down at the shimmering of the ice as it melts into this extravagant cocktail that Quinch has ordered. And he just looks down and a tear just starts to form within his eyes. And one tear just slowly rolls down his face. He wipes it with his wrist before it can break down his cheek too far. And he mutters to himself, "Time to go to bed, I think." And he goes up. He goes to see if the room that he had intended to share with Dweezil is unlocked or not.
No, it's locked.
In that case, he'll sleep on the floor outside.
Just like a cat.
Okay, so that all happens, and a few people see you sleeping on the landing, but you've made a few friends downstairs, and they understand. They knew that you were staying here, so no one moves you, and they just step over you. You might get the occasional accidental clip of a foot as it's walking over you, but the rest of you all have a nice long rest.
Can I do something in my long rest, please, Nathan?
Bit weird. I mean, we all deal with grief in different ways, but yeah, go for it.
Is there a mirror in this room?
Is there a mirror in this room? I'll allow it.
He's going to do a Britney.
Yeah. So I'm going to go and stand in front of the mirror. I'm going to take out a dagger. He's going to grab his hair, his ponytail.
So much drawing to do.
And he's going to chop his... He's not going to try and shave his head or anything, but he's going to chop his hair off.
Fuck.
How much?
Quite short.
Skinhead.
No, not a skinhead, but he's going to chop it off pretty short.
Thought he was having a Travis Pickle moment.
Yeah. Does Dweezil notice anything different about his appearance when he looks in the mirror?
No.
Okay. Apart from he's got no hair now.
He's got no hair now. Yeah, that's the main thing. It would be weird otherwise. He's got hair.
Krill also approaches the mirror. No.
Cuts his mohawk off.
That is a lot for you to draw, isn't it? You got Quinch's hat, you got Dweezil's new haircut. As Quinch wakes up, he unfurls his wings. He looks to the right wing, and on the inside, there's this incredible replica of the Mona Lisa. And he unfurls the left wing, and there's this unbelievable image. It is the most incredible, rich, and detailed and colourful. It's indescribable. It's unlike anything as anyone has ever seen, but it's there, and it's majestic. No, sorry.
Can I chop Quinch's wings off?
He just keeps them furled the whole time. So Quinch, Krill, and Greg, anything you're doing, or are you just chilling out?
Can I try and do some arts and crafts, please?
Yeah, you can do that. I'll add that to the list. You start fiddling around with your bear rug, whatever it was, and start basically carrying on with essentially stripping it down for parts.
It's been absolutely ages since I did a cube, so I'll have a twist.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sleight of hand then, please.
Sleight of hand. Oh, 21! Natty T.
A natural 20?
Natty T.
I think he said a natural 21.
Yeah, 21, natural 20 plus 1, 21.
You've got the right corner is now the correct colour that you were hoping it would be. just the one square.
You are...
Oh, yeah.
I've done it. Just one.
I thought you were talking about the dice.
You have never been closer.
Oh, my God.
You've literally never been closer.
You're telling me.
You have advantage on the next 2 checks. It's starting to look for like you're seeing big patches of colours coming together now.
Oh, thank you.
I really hope at the end of it is literally just a Rubik's Cube and nothing special happens.
We shall see. Right. You all go to sleep, and you all you'll have a lovely long rest. Quinch is probably the least rested of you, considering he's not been sleeping on a bed. But I'm not going to have him have exhaustion for sleeping on the floor, because at the end of the day, you sleep out in the rough all the time. As you wake up, Dweezil, you wake up still, I would imagine, fairly morose and sad about your friend. But you do feel slightly different. And you feel like maybe, you don't know how you know this, but you happen to know a new spell. Of your choice, you may choose any spells from the, any level 1 spell from the Warlock list.
Ooh.
You don't get any extra slots or anything like that. It's just an extra choice for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you're all now awake, and what do you want to do with the day? You're in Silvery Moon.
I want to have breakfast.
No. Yes, you have breakfast. They give you a lovely Knickerbocker Glory with sausages in the top of it.
Perfect. That's exactly what I was going to ask for. So
they call it a Knickerbocker Glory.
Stop giving me things to draw.
So you are all downstairs. You're having breakfast. We're not going to go through the whole thing because we've done enough breakfast episodes. What are you doing? You obviously came to Silvery Moon. The point of you being in Silvery Moon was to Dabov was taken aside while you were in Tribal by Dars.
Yeah.
And he was told of somewhere that there might be a stash of magic items. That's the whole reason you were coming to Silvery Moon in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, why we're in Silvery Moon though, like obviously these Cloud Giant envoys have just turned up to have a meeting with I don't know what the leaders of Silvery Moon are called, whether they're Water Barons or it's like a council or whatever it is.
Roll me an intelligence.
That is going to be a 17.
A 17. You are not necessarily familiar with who is the current incumbent of the role, but you do know that it's run by a High Lord.
Okay, so obviously these cloud giants have turned up into the sea. I think we should have a look into that to see if it's got anything to do with the oh my god, I forgot what it's called now. The thingy, the
Ordning.
ordering. That was it. Thank you. The ordering of the giants, just to see if the cloud giants have a plan or are trying to overthrow the other giants or anything like that. I mean, I know cloud giants are like the top of the giant food chain anyway, but
No, they're not. There's storm giants at the top.
oh, okay. Okay, second to top.
I think it's storm, and I think it's cloud below them. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that as a party, that's probably something worth investigating to go and have a look at. Don't know if you guys would agree with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you know that you're still in the Dancing Goat. Slightly different feel about the place in the morning with no dancing going on. Very much feels like a nightclub. That when you see it in the cold light of day, it's not quite the same. So as you get your stuff and you go out into the world, you know that they were on the south side of the river. So is it your intention to go there, or are you trying to investigate on the north side, or what are you trying to do?
Well, we would need to find a way over to that side of the river. So maybe we need to find some kind of unsavory character who can perhaps sneak us over that side of the river or something like that.
God, if only you had a rogue who knew that sort of side of the world.
Yeah.
Okay. All right then. What I will do is, I mean, it's up to you how you want to do that, I guess.
Wait, have we regathered? And there's been no reaction to Dweezil. Everyone's just sort of
yeah.
Oh yeah, true.
No one said anything about my new haircut. No.
Yeah.
No.
Sort of suits you, mate.
Thanks.
At least it will when I draw it.
I was just putting it down to old age. You see, when you get older, things like this start to happen, as you can see. I didn't want to mention it because I didn't want to seem rude.
He hasn't conditioned his hair in weeks, so it's just been breaking off.
Okay, so yeah.
So I say we kind of just go out, we have a look in the city, just do some recon, see what information that we can gather.
Maybe I can look out for some pigeons.
Why did you say it like that?
That was very sexy.
That's why.
He's trying to get in on that jazz action.
Yeah.
He's trying to copy the other barbarian.
It's going to follow Quinch around just.
Lecture krill.
Okay, well, you tell me what you want to do. You tell me where you want to go. You tell me what you want to try and... you're sort of telling me what you want to achieve without telling me how you're going to achieve it.
Did Daboff actually say anything about the magical items and who he was going to meet or anything like that?
Does he have a journal that might have information about them?
So he doesn't know what the magical items were.
Yeah.
Admittedly, and he wasn't told by Dars. I can tell you what. I think Daboff would have told you. I think given that you hadn't yet got to Silvery Moon, you didn't know everything about it. But he would have, I imagine Daboff would have imparted some knowledge to you. He would have told you that there was a home. It was in a home in Silvery Moon. The home would have been owned by a family called Margester, or Margester, however you want to pronounce it, Margester. And he also would have told you that it would be that the items would be found in the carriage, in a carriage. That's the information. Now he had more information, that I'll admit, but I don't honestly think Daboff would have given you that other information.
I think he would. I would have been, with his last breath, as he was being his soul taken out of his body, he would have just shouted out, "It's in the coach on the left-hand side. Just go down to the horse wagon place and look in the third one along," or something like that.
And the reason I know that didn't happen is because I've talked to Luke, and Luke's told me this is what he would have told you. So I think Luke knows what Daboff would do better than the rest of you. So let's move on. So yeah, that's what he told you about where you were going for this heist, robbery, whatever you want to call it. I keep calling it a heist, but it's more of a robbery.
Well, let's discuss amongst the group. Let's say that the group discusses all of that information that you've just said. Well, should we? I've made. If we're going to carry out this robbery or this investigation at the very least, as perhaps as a way to gain closure with Dabov's death, acting out the very last thing that we planned, or rather acting out the next thing that we had planned to do with him, could be the last thing that we do in his name, albeit maybe it's not the most honourable of things. But if we are going to do this, I've made some legway or some headway last night with making acquaintances with some of the townsfolk. Maybe we could talk and ask around for this Jazzta family, see if they're well known. Nothing too overt, just see if they're well known. Give us some sort of lead.
Yes. Or we could go and see a show. How do you feel about that?
Depends if there's a matinee.
Yeah, I think, let's just go out, investigate the city, ask around, see if anyone knows where the Magistra, what did you say it was? I should have written that down.
Magistra, Magerster.
Magistra family are, or who they are. Maybe we may not end up, I was going to say robbing, but there's probably a better word for it, robbing their house, but perhaps they could give us some help, maybe getting over to the other side of the city. Or we may just rob them, who knows?
Would it be worthwhile us discussing as a group and coming up with it may be difficult, I don't know, maybe the others are better at it than I, but I can't imagine what reason we'd have to be sort of asking about the Magistra. Is it worth creating a fake letter that we and make ourselves out to be that one of us was a delivery person, that we've got this fake letter for the Magistra family?
Or we could just say a member of our party used to know their family and he has now passed away on the road. We just want to pass on the information.
Yeah, nice.
People already know that we had a party member die.
Yep, true.
Krill, please, anything to add?
Nah.
Any?
I am not the plan maker.
Dweezil seems to have lost his voice with his ponytail.
Yeah, Dweezil's prepared. Dweezil's all at sea. He's just gonna go along with whatever.
Wow, you've lost your rogue and you've lost your quote unquote leader.
Where is the nearest tourist information board, please, Mr. Man in the Sky?
Well, you met a guy last night who claimed to be part of it. There is. You start asking around. Give me a charisma roll, Greg.
Oh, he's the most charismatic old man you'll ever meet. Especially when he rolls a natty 20.
That's 20.
What are you? So I'm taking this that you're asking, I don't know, people on the street or maybe guards or something like that. So you tell me what you're starting.
Greg would just go up to people and he'd be chatting to like people who look of nobility or like guardsmen who'd be like,
"Excuse me, sir. I hate to trouble you, but I'm looking for the Magistra family and their household. You see, we had a party member with us, a dear friend of ours who once knew the family, and we were coming here to see them, but unfortunately he has passed on the road, and I feel it's it's only right that we pass on our well wishes to the family and let them know of the sad passing.
And yeah, so you start talking to this guy on the street, and he says, "Oh, well, that's such a terribly sad story you tell. You're fortunate enough that I know of a Jazzta family. I'm not sure if they're the only ones in Silvery Moon, but yeah, there is one that I'm aware of, and yes, they live over in the he lives over in the residential district, and he points you off into the west of the city, and he tells you it's on the north side of the city. So it's not in the it's not on the other side where the giants were. And yeah, he says, yeah, I don't know the exact house. I've never been there, but I do know he lives over in that area. So perhaps if you go across over there and ask, someone will be able to direct you to his house.
Okay.
So yeah. So is that it? Then are you heading to that house?
Yeah, I feel like we'd continue to ask around until someone can point us in the right direction to where the house is, at least.
Okay. So from where you are, which is fairly near the market district, you start setting off westwards, heading in the direction that the gentleman passed. And yeah, you pass several stores and museums and galleries. As a reminder, Silvery Moon has a very sort of cultured feel about it compared to some of the other cities that you've been in before. And actually, not long into your journey, you again see a sign for the Rocks and Romance, saying that it shows nightly at 5 p.m. And yeah, so you go past that, and there's no one there, and carry on. You eventually hit the residential part of the town. A bit quieter here. Not quite as many foot traffic, but there are a few people milling around. And give me another charisma, Greg, unless anyone else is stepping up to do this.
No, I'll do it. Let's do this one digitally.
Do this one with an advantage because you're in his manor.
Let's do it twice. 23 was the top one.
23, well, that's lucky. So yeah, so you again find someone who's very helpful, and they actually point you in the right direction. And actually, you're not far off. It's literally like about 3 houses away from where you actually started asking questions. The area you find yourself in terms of the residential district, certainly the actual specific area you're in right now, a lot of the houses look very similar. It's not by any means like it's not like they're carbon copies of each other. It's not some sort of weird Stepford Wives type thing, but there's definitely similarities in the architecture here, almost as if they were built, at the same time by similar people. A lot of the houses are quite plain but homely. There's nothing particularly extravagant about them. There's quite a few of them have quite large gardens and things like that, but it feels very much like these buildings have been created as almost a blank canvas, allowing people to move into them and put their own sort of flashes of inspiration, whether it be on the buildings or the gardens or anything like that. So whilst there's sort of like a template that's been followed, some of the exteriors are slightly different.
So it's a new build estate.
Basically, yeah, a new build estate, but not quite like that. No, Stuart. So yeah, so you find that. So and when you get to the final, when you get to the house you're looking for, what you come across is essentially this house, which has a gated and fenced off garden. The garden is quite pretty well maintained. You can see that there appears to be some ornaments and things like that in the garden. And there appears to be the house itself is like a 2-story building, approximately about 50 foot by 50 foot. And there's a driveway equivalent leading up to a carriage house, which is an external outbuilding near the house. There's no one in the garden, no one milling around.
Now the question to the buy is: Do we want to rob them, or do we want to find out information about them?
Yeah,
I feel like the obvious thing would just be knock on the door.
Yeah, I think so. Let's Home Alone it.
Reckon.
At the very least, Home Alone it. It gives us options. Knock on the door, see what the situation is, scope it out.
Okay.
You try the gate. Gate opens with very little difficulty. I'm going to assume Krill doesn't boot it in.
Wow. Roll for does he boot in? No. Lucky.
No. Good. Okay. And you head on up to the doorway. What are you doing?
Yeah, Quinch's footsteps start to slow a bit as he seeps towards the back of the pie.
Seeps. Oh.
Seeps, yeah. You knock at the door, and after probably about 30 seconds, a minute, something like that, eventually you start hearing some noises behind the door, and the door opens up, and you see a woman of around 40 years old stood the other side, and she says, yes, can I help you?
Good evening. I'm sorry to disturb you on obviously your day of rest here. Is this the Jazzta household?
Yes, it is. I'm Zamlin.
Oh, well, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Ima, and these here are my friends. And well, this may sound a bit strange, but we had a member of our party who recently passed.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
That's very kind of you. He said that he actually once knew you in a previous life, as he put it.
Interesting.
And we thought it was important to perhaps come over and have a word with you and just tell you of his sad passing. Does the name Dabov mean anything to you at all? I'm afraid I can't give you a surname. We never knew it.
Dabov? No, it doesn't ring any bells with me whatsoever. No, that's... Dabov. No. Quite an unforgettable name, really, isn't it?
Yes, it is rather is. I mean, if you met the small fellow, you would definitely remember him. He's quite a charismatic little chap. Let me tell you, he would talk for absolutely hours.
Yeah, well, I'm
short as well.
As I say, I'm sorry.
He was short. Have you ever known anyone short?
I've known some short people. Yes, that's.
Yes, he was a gnome.
Yeah, oh, okay. Yeah, I've met some gnomes. Yep.
Were any of them called Dabbles?
Well, I sort of said that I didn't know anyone called Dabble, let alone whether they were gnomes or not. No. So
sometimes he went by Derek.
Right, Derek. I did know a Derek once, but he was a furbolg.
Are they the people that wear the costumes like giant teddy bears?
Yes, those are the ones. Yeah. I am awfully sorry to hear about your friend, but if I'm afraid I don't know him. So if that's everything,
that's quite all right. We just thought, well, perhaps I've got the wrong household. Could you just tell me what you do around the city, just so I can double check that this is the correct Jazzta household that I'm at?
We need to make sure that we're giving this to the correct house. Yes.
I am, as far as I know, anyway, the only Mugster in the town. I mean, there could be others, of course, but I've certainly never come across any. In terms of what I do, I mean, I hope you can appreciate you've just turned at my door and asked me if I know a strange that I clearly don't know, and you're asking what I do. It feels a little bit like you're trying to get information about me that I'm just not comfortable with exchanging with strangers.
I mean, it's no different to me going into a pub and, finding out that someone's a barkeep, or perhaps me telling you that I'm an adventurer. It's only our job. It doesn't define who we are or what we do.
No, it doesn't. You're right. And if it doesn't define who we are, then... And she's sort of just slowly shutting the door, just like...
Yes, we're sorry. We'll take this inheritance to its rightful place. We're sorry to disturb you.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. Yes.
Thought that might work.
All right then. And she shuts the door.
It was a large sum of money to give away to one family, I guess. Anyway.
Yes, you're right.
And she has closed the door on you.
Of course she has. Horrible woman.
Enter a
How
rage.
would you like to kick a door in?
So you hate friendly halflings that turn up and try and cheer you up. You hate women that just don't want to.
We're just a miserable bunch.
You hate women. Yeah.
People can't be reasoned with. That's the problem. They should just fuck it. Let's all just turn evil. Let's just start killing everyone.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this, Dweezil. So you now.
I don't even do anything.
You look more aggressive without the hair. That's what it is.
Man's just trying to grieve here.
Okay.
Walk.
So you find yourself
away from the path.
Okay. You walk away.
Knock on the door again. Ask her if she's heard about our Lord and Saviour Pan. Oh wait, no, not Pan. Who is it? Damn it! I forgot my own thing. Fuck off.
Did any of you want to have a sly eye at the?
Yeah, can you?
Anything more?
Well, can you describe if there is obviously any parked coaches around anywhere?
So we're looking for a carriage house, aren't we?
Yeah.
So you see, so the house itself is 2 stories. You can see windows all around, which are currently open, or the shutters are open, and you see the outhouse, which you would take to believe to be the carriage house. Again, 2 stories, fairly smaller than the house, and there appears to be double doors on the front, obviously where the carriage can go in and out. And then the second floor you can see a couple of windows, but these are boarded up, not just shutters. These are completely boarded up.
I'm assuming. I mean, what time of day is it?
It's morning. So it's probably by the time Greg found someone who was able to direct them and you walked over here and stuff like that, it's probably about 10 o'clock in the morning.
Question to the party: how do people feel about us burning a house down?
Feel quite negatively and quite strongly against that. Yeah, feel quite bad about it.
I mean, it's not the burning down the house; it's dealing with the aftermath of revenge that seems to be our problem.
I'm just trying to put myself in her boots. I mean, I closed my door on a Jehovah's Witness the other day, and I feel like I'm sort of siding with her a bit.
Exactly. I mean, to be honest, you've walked up as strangers to someone's house and gone, "Do you know this person?" She's gone, "No, doesn't." And then you've gone, "What do you do for a living?"
Where do you live?
Well, I know where she lives.
Noticing the tense mood and noticing Dweezil still really, out and in of it, his new haircut. Quinch ponders to himself as they're slowly walking away from the house. He wonders if one of his famous lullabies would help soothe those emotions in Dweezil, and he gently starts to utter the words. And every time I try to fly, I fall without my wings. I feel so small. I guess I need you, baby. And every time I see you in my dreams, I see your face. You're haunting me. I guess I need you, Dapper.
As Quinch starts singing the Britney Spears song, is that the one where she's in the bath?
She's so scantily clad in so many, they all sort of fuse into one. I think she's at the very least in a plain white room.
I'll go and try the doors on the carriage house.
I will accompany him because the sound of Quinch's singing makes Krill want to vomit.
As you get closer to the doors, you see that there appears to be a lock on them. Thanks for listening. Make sure you don't miss out on the circus's next crazy antics by hitting subscribe on your podcast app of choice. And in between episodes, you can always find us on social media by searching Dyson Desire on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We're in our 3rd year now, and if you want to help us grow, you can do so in a number of ways. You can tell a friend, because word of mouth really helps us get our name out there, or you can review us on Apple or Podchaser to help with our visibility. Finally, you can donate to our Ko-fi page to help us take the show to the next level. All links can be found in this episode's description. And never forget, sometimes it is a dog licking a tree, yes?
We're going to give it another go. It's a bit more zing. A bit of zing. Zing. Yeah. Ready? Hello. With a hello. No. Hello. Wait till I get through the whole thing. Ready? Hello with a billowing hilltop.
Hello.
Oh dear. Waiting to get through the whole thing. No. I mean,
I thought that was the whole thing.
The whole thing is hello with a billowing hilltop. Okay, that's the whole thing. Yeah?
Okay. That was right.
That pretty much sums up the show. But if you want to find out any more, you can visit us at www.billowinghilltop. Is it com? Does anybody know?
.org.
Is it?
It's .com.
What do we do? What do we play?
There's monsters.
Does anybody remember?
Walking around.
I don't know.
And, yeah.
We will be delighted if you were to join us around our table as we play Dungeon. Is it 5th edition? Hello?
Yeah, we think so.
Yeah. Yes. We play
What was that
Dungeons
noise
and Dragons.
in the background? Sorry, that was me.
What was that noise in the background? There will be noises in the background as we play Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition through the classic Paizo adventure path, The Age of Worms. You can expect this. No! Quite a bit of this.
I'm completely lost.
This. This.
Got a bugbear in my underpants.
And one of these.
Oh dear.
We're on Apple Podcasts, and we're on Spotify, and we're on TuneIn, and you can find us on Twitter, and you can find us on Facebook. And we hope you join us. Thanks very much.